Come on, y'all. Let's have a conversation. Ooh, let's talk about this slavery thing. I am so tired of our people saying that we came over here on a ship. Drinking water and whatever the food was on that ship. Lies. We wouldn't have been able to make it from Africa to here with the water. The water that they came through was salt water. Where'd they get all this water from? It wouldn't have been able to hold all them slaves on the ship, water and food. That food, what would that food have done? Spoiled. They ain't have no refrigeration. Come on. Will y'all stop these lies? Please stop these lies. The slaves that were over here were the ones that were already here. They knew how to plow this dirt that is here in the United States to make food for these white folks because they were dying off. They needed the people who were already here to do this. They were only ones who knew how to do it. Come on. Get real. Africans wouldn't have been able to come over here and plow some dirt, plant some seeds, or whatever, however they did it back then. They would have. No! Will y'all stop it? My great grandmother, which is my maternal parent, her father's mother told us we were not African. No, ma'am, we were not African. Yes, I said that she was born in the late 1800s. I met and I knew my great grandmother. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. She said that they were going to teach us this bull crap. And I did not listen in my history class because I knew that they were lying. That's why I made a D in every history class because I knew they were talking bull crap about us. I knew that they were lying on us. And y'all still believe in these lies. Well, y'all stop it. Get into them history museums. Some of them, I think one I know of is in Washington, D.C. And go do some research. You'll know who our people are. And that daggone broom that they talking about, the Africans jumped over, it wasn't Africans. It was us that were already here. Come on now. Research. I'm tired of the bull. I let my children know what my great grandmother said, what my grandfather told us. He had a child that used to walk around in African attire, and he said to me, looked at me and said, "Who is that?" I said, "Don't you know who she is?" He was like, "I ain't have no children that came from Africa. We didn't have African in our family." My father's mother told me what tribe she came from on this land, where the land was taken from them. I didn't listen to her because I was young and dumb. And I wish to God that I would have sat down with my grandmother and listened to those stories. That's why we are so daggone confused. We weren't listening to our elders. Now, these elders who are around my age and older, talking about we came from Africa. You didn't listen to your family either. Talking about we got here on some daggone ship. Everybody on that ship would have died. You really thought Africans was going to let some Europeans? It wasn't that many Europeans going over there to get people. Those Africans would have killed those Europeans. Even if they paid them to take them, those Africans would have stole them Africans. They were not Africans. You should go to the timeline of everything. The people that was here went to somewhere else, ended up in Europe, ended somewhere else, then over to Africa. When these white folks here started dying off because they didn't know how to plow and produce food, they went back and got the people that was from here back here and turned them into slaves. And all of them were not slaves. They called them slaves, but they all wasn't in slavery. Come on, get real. I'm so tired of people still lying on us. The Native Americans that are here are not originally from here. They are not indigenous to this land, but they're getting our money. They are getting our reparation, and none of y'all are standing up trying to turn it back to us to get our identity back. None of y'all. There are some, because there are groups out here fighting. They trying to enlighten you. I am older, but none of y'all gonna listen to older folks because y'all so disrespectful of our elders. You're disrespectful. We weren't disrespectful. We wouldn't dare be disrespectful to our elders. I just listened to someone who was a little younger than me. Well, he probably was a little more than a little younger. But it had to be at least maybe a 10, 14-year difference. And he said what he said that it pissed me off. You don't even know, he didn't even know the story. None of y'all know the story. Y'all sit up here listening to these white lies that were taught in school. They were lies about our people. Lies. There was Africans here, but they were enslaved. They may have worked here, but they weren't in slavery. They was able to go back to Africa or wherever they ended up. I wish y'all would stop it. This is why we're not getting our reparations, because you're not sitting up here trying to find out where your lineages really was, where it was really started. We were here for centuries before Europeans showed up out in sea. And our people went and saved them out of these. I wish they would have just let them go ahead, stayed in that daggone bad weather that they hit. And none of this would happen, and we would know who we are. Y'all, I can't believe y'all. Can you please get your stuff together? Listen to people when they tell you you're not African. Unless you know that your mother or your father, their parents, or their parents, or their parents are African. Then you know you're African American. I have never claimed that I was African American. Because like I said, my great-grandmother, which is on one side of the family, and my father's mother, which is on the other side of the family, said we are not African. And it's not that I don't like Africans. I met some great Africans. I used to have some Africans do my hair and styles. I had an African tell me that I was beautiful, and he knew that I wasn't African. But we look similar. I guarantee you white folks ain't claiming that they all from the same place because of the color of their skin. Because they not. A matter of fact, there are Africans in Africa who did not originate in Africa. And they will tell you, and they look like us. Y'all need to get y'all stories right. Stop listening to these whitewash stories. Get into them museums. Start with your parents' name if they're deceased. Whoever's deceased, the grandparents, great-grandparents, get their names and start pulling them records up. Wherever they was from, go to them records and get to looking. Talk to a historian. Leave them daggone DNA tests alone because they are lies. They can tell you who you're related to, but they cannot tell you where you originated from. They sitting up here lying to you. All to make a buck off you. All to make money off of you. And to keep up with you. I'm going to put this on YouTube, on my channel. If it gets flagged, it gets flagged. But somebody need to hear this. And somebody need to hear this. And I'm serious. When people look at my hair, they be like, you're not African. And I say, I know. And I know there's Africans with different textures of hair. And like I said, all of them that are in Africa did not originate in Africa. Like that saying goes, all skin folk ain't kin folk. Because you look like them don't mean you're them. Stop the madness. Have a blessed day. I'm going to let y'all go. Do your research. Bye.